You've probably seen this image 1,000 times. You might have seen it on a tote bag, on a phone. What you might not know is how it was made and why is it even a tsunami? Ukiyo-E translates to pictures of the floating world, and it was a way for Japanese artists to document everyday occurrences in life, from farmers in fields to the pleasure houses. It may be the first documented way that we mass produced art. Art style started around 1603 and persisted into around 1867. And it was concentrated on creating various woodblock prints out of cherry wood to create different images by layering the colors and shapes on top of each other, from lightest to dark. This allowed people at the time to have their first version of a mass produced art style. They were cheap, you could produce them in large numbers, and therefore they became very popular. The most popular subject matter that you'll see is kabuki actors, as well as courtesans, sumo wrestlers, and famous landscapes. A lot of art history that we talk about is really Eurocentric, and because of that, a lot of the art was court or church-based commissions, meaning that the artists were paid and commissioned from either money that came from the church or money that came from the royal family, because that's basically who could afford art. This is almost the exact opposite. It was beautiful art still created by very talented artists, and it took multiple types of artists from being a designer, a woodblock carver, to then being a woodblock printer. They weren't always the same, but these three disciplines together produced these really beautiful, easy to recognize art style that took off for the middle class. And I would argue that art changes a lot when it's no longer just made for the very privileged. So what are the 5 unmistakable hallmarks of ukiyo-e? Because they were printed from carved cherry wood blocks, they have a very distinctive non-blended style. They had to be created in multiple layers, and so there's not any kind of blending techniques. Their outlines are very crisp. They are cropped in a composition that would remind you of photographs today, and they contained various different subject matters, including urban life, rural life, and entertainment, instead of gods or the noble family. And because they were mass produced, they were cheap and easily accessible to a vast variety of people. There were no precious one-offs. If this was printed and it was popular, they kept printing it. For the rest of this week, I'm going to be taking you through how ukiyo-e was started, maintained, the techniques, and where we find it today. So please join me.